ladies and gentlemen, to the English news from our Djibouti channels. Here are the top stories of our editions tonight. The National Assembly held this morning the third sitting of the two ordinary session of this year. In Syria, both countries accuse each other the bombardment. That were our top stories, and now let's get to the detail. The third plenary sessions of the second ordinary was held this morning in the National Assembly, and the President for all members of Parliament and the government, including the Prime Minister, Mr. Abdul Qadir Kamil Mohammed. The meeting opened by the President of the Assembly, Mr. Mohammed Ali Hamad, and the agenda of the meeting was about two draft laws. This is the finance law on the final settlement of the state budget for the year 2017. The second bill 2018. The second bill is still the finance on the amending budget of the state for the 2018 fiscal year. After the opening of the intense and constructive discussions took place in the hemicycle between the parliamentarians and the member of the government. Finally, after the closures of at the end of the debate, the President of the Assembly put the two draft laws to the vote of Parliament, which adopted unanimously. After that, the Prime Minister stressed the importance of this meeting to finance the law on the final settlement of the state budget for the year 2019. After that, the discussions between the parliamentarians and the members of government, where the Prime Minister, Mr. Abdul Qadir Kamil Mohammed, went up to answer the questions of parliamentarians on the infrastructure. The leadership of the Prime Minister, the Minister of National Education and Vocational Training today celebrated the World Day of the Arabic Language in the People's Palace. In addition to the Minister of National Education and Vocational Training, Mr. Mustafa Mohammed Mahmoud, his colleague in charge of the Minister of Muslims Affairs, as well as Equipment and Transport, Mr. Mumin Hassan Barre and Muhammad Musa and Hassan Hamad took part in the ceremony. Numerous personalities, including the ambassador of the Arab countries accredited to Djibouti, the head of institutions and private educational institutions in Arabic, as well as the executives and officials of the Minister of National Education and the educational community participate widely in the ceremony. A special guest and large audience were sold out at the ceremony that was placed this year under the theme of the Day Arabic Language and Science. Beautiful culture animations followed by a short film on the progress of teaching of the Arabic language opened that ceremony. Then it was the officials who spoke, starting with Mr. Mustafa Mohammed Mahmoud, who praised at length the Arabic language as a beautiful language rich in its particularities. The Ministers of Women and Family, with the support of the new UNFPA, organized in turn in the 5 Interior Region meeting to discuss the importance of creations of mutilation within the various communities. The city of Oba hosted the third meeting of forum of its kind. The forum brought together the members of management committee of 9 representing the 9 rural localities of Andoli Badoita, as well as many other localities. The purpose of this forum is to promote the exchange of experience between mutual from one region to another. Mrs. Mumina Ahmed Hassan, Minister of Women and family became personally involved. The High Islamic Council convened a consultations meeting on the theme the human spirit and the development of nation this morning. The executive of Secretary of High Islamic Council, Sheikh Okiye Kawariye, presided over the opening ceremony of this meeting, which was also held in the presence of the Director of Islamic Affairs and the Minister, Mr. Salah Ahmed Abdullah. The meeting brought many of Imam's pressures. She was led by Dr. Abdul Razak Hussein Ahmed and Dr. Abdurrahman Muhammad Ali. These meetings are organized periodically every month in every year. As part of Women's Empowerment, CDC in World 5 and 7 have initiated a swing training workshop. In her statement, the directors of CDC congratulated the leaders of this training workshop, stating that these courses are supported by the State Secretary for Youth and Sports. Once training, the girls will be able to work stressed. This aims to improve women's ability to undertake and launch their own micro projects. The Secretary of Youth and Sports aims to train 150 out of school girls each year. And now on regional news, in particular in Ethiopia, Parliament yesterday passed a law establishing a conciliation commission whose aim taxes will be to put an end to intercommunal violence. According to Radio Fana, close to power, the commission's goal is to maintain peace, justice, national unity, consensus, and reconciliations among the Ethiopian people. The commission should investigate to identify the reason for dispute and human rights violations, taking into account the social and economic context of victims and aggressors. The chairman of the Parliamentary Committee for Foreign Affairs and Peace, Tesfaye, said the commission would make proposal to the Ethiopian Parliament to address past abuses and promote harmony. And on continental news, according to the Syria press agency, Israel war planes bombed cities near the Syrian capital Damascus last night, while the Israeli army said it responses to an anti-aircraft missile attack from Syria.
Wednesday say Israel had violated Syrian sovereignty with the airstrikes the day before after Israel and the Meccas blame each other for the hostilities. Syrian say via state media that air defense shot down Israel missiles near the Meccas, while Israel said it was protecting itself from anti-aircraft fire. Mosque's defense minister Elias says Israel strikes had endangered two passenger planes. He added restrictions were imposed on the use of Syrian government's force air defense system to prevent a tragedy. One of the planes were directed to a Russian airbase within Syria. The Russian defense minister said the 3 Syrian military personnel were injured in a strike that saw Israeli plane drop 16 bombs.
Arrived the end of this news edition. Thank you for watching us. Goodbye.